Hi, the internet. Welcome to another episode of The What Else Show. I'm your host, Robert. This is Bethany.
Hi, internet.
And today we've got a brand new show for you today. Bethany, what else are we talking about today?
Today we are doing our second installment of our special first episodes series, where we watch the first episode of a show and discuss it.
And what first episode of what show did we watch? Well, we watched the first episode of what first episode? No. Which show did we watch it the first episode? That's how it is. Got it.
Doth you know which we watched the first episode of Three's Company.
Three's Company,
yes.
Starring John Ritter, rest in peace.
John Ritter, Suzanne Summers, and Joyce DeWitt.
Joyce DeWitt.
Those are the main.
Never remembered her name.
Those are the main three. So yes.
And what are your memories about Three's Company? Did you watch Three's Company when you were growing up?
I did, mostly reruns. So I'll mention the dates that it ran and kind of the stats. So it ran from March 15th, 1977 to September 18th, 1984 for 8 seasons.
Oh. And
it spawned 2 spinoffs. The Ropers and Three's a Crowd.
Oh, I remember the Ropers. I don't know what Three's a Crowd is.
Yeah, neither of those lasted very long. The Ropers was 1 season, and yeah. So, but yeah, I watched mostly reruns, and then in 1984 I was like 6 or 7. But I remember watching it at friends' houses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it was like lots of reruns.
Yeah, I can remember watching this show in reruns. I don't think I was alive when it was going live.
No.
But I remember liking it as a child. I remember it being fun.
Yes, me too. I did remember liking it as a child.
Should we jump right into what this first episode is about?
Yeah. Oh, we should also mention that we watched it on Pluto.
Oh, yes. Free with ads on Pluto TV.
Yes. So just wanted to mention that. So the name of the episode was A Man About the House. I don't know if that's important or not, but I thought I would mention it.
Good.
So basically, the episode is about Chrissy and Janet.
It starts off. It's the morning after a big party. Their roommate, Marilyn.
Nope.
Esmeralda.
Nope.
Estelle.
Nope. Do you want me to give the synopsis?
What was her name?
Eleanor.
Her roommate Eleanor is
my God.
pregnant, and they're giving her a wedding reception.
Yes. Okay. So that's how the episode opened. We open on them hungover trying to clean up their apartment after the wedding reception. And one of the earliest jokes was that Eleanor left the wedding reception to go give birth.
Yes. And
so that was that got a huge laugh. Yeah, so that was kind of funny.
Racy.
Very racy. Yeah, a little racy.
Yeah.
So that's the first episode. And so we kind of get to know through their dialogue that Eleanor was their roommate and that she, now has moved out.
Right.
And they're trying to find a new roommate.
So in the next scene, they find John Ritter, Jack
Tripper.
In the bathtub.
Yes. Passed out, drunk.
Because they had a crazy night at this wedding reception.
Yes, apparently it was just, a huge party.
Yeah, somebody made some punch that was very strong, apparently.
Yes.
It was Chrissy.
So, yeah, Chrissy. Suzanne Summers. Yes. So that's kind of the synopsis of the first episode is when we kind of meet them.
I like this first scene right here, or second scene, or this scene where they find him in the bathtub. John Ritter does a lot of physical comedy.
Yes.
In this little scenario here.
Yeah. Well, even throughout the episode, he does all this, physical comedy, and it's funny. It has kind of an innocent charm to it, as opposed to being like dumb and goofy. I didn't think it was dumb and goofy. I thought it was
dumb and goofy, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I did think it was funny. Yeah.
So they find him in the bathtub, and I don't know what happens next. And then all of a sudden, we're in the Roper's house, and the Ropers are complaining about the party from last night.
Mr. Roper is not happy with the amount of noise and people that they had to put up with. So the Ropers live one apartment below where the girls live.
And they own the building.
They own the building. They make it very clear. Mr. Roper's like, this is my building. So
and he wanted to be invited to the party. The Ropers have a back and forth, like a adversarial relationship with each other, even though they're married.
So sarcastic.
That party upstairs kept me awake till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, really? I didn't think you could hear it over your snoring.
They kind of like a married with children kind of attitude.
Yeah. It's definitely, it's very sarcastic. It's very like caustic, kind of constantly taking jabs at each other about their age and their marriage and their sex life. And it was lots of sexual innuendo.
Yes.
Lots
between the two of them. Well, and everybody else.
Yeah, through the whole episode, lots of sexual innuendo. I was not expecting that.
I can kind of remember that from the show.
But I'm like, oh wow, 1977. Okay, I guess things were kind of
right,
loosening up a little bit for adult sitcoms. Very racy.
Sure. Now, they never give you a sense of how big this apartment complex or how small this apartment complex is.
No.
From the first episode, you think it might just be like a 2-bedroom, like they live downstairs, they live upstairs, maybe a duplex. But I'm pretty sure it's a bigger apartment building. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
But not from this first episode, you can't tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. The set is very small and simple, and the rooms are very small and kind of cramped.
Yeah, you get the Roper's apartment.
Yeah.
You get the
girls' apartment.
And you get their kitchen, the girls' kitchen. And that's it.
And that's really it. Oh, besides the bathroom where they find Jack
also.
in the bathtub. But all the rooms are like very, very small, and it didn't seem like, it kind of seemed like realistic, size for like a little apartment.
Yeah.
But,
it kind of plays out almost like a play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We said that about designing women, but that also holds true for this show.
Yes. Not a lot of set changes.
Okay. So Mrs. Roper comes up to address the noise complaint from Mr. Roper.
Yes.
And she sees Jack there. Jack is now in a bathrobe due to his wet clothes from being in the bathtub. So his clothes are now in the oven. Mrs. Roper is upstairs, settling this noise complaint.
Yeah.
She sees Jack, and then she goes downstairs and tells Mr. Roper, hey, there's a dude up there. Mr. Roper goes up. Mm-hmm. He goes upstairs. Mm-hmm. But then we cut to a scene with a roommate prospect.
Yes, she's coming in to look at the apartment to possibly be their new roommate, and she's got like this super fakey voice going on, like to sound snooty.
Yeah,
like her voice was very super fake sounding.
Well, it is small, of course, but then most of the time I'll be out here with you gals chin-wagging.
Janice does not like her.
No,
not at all.
Janet.
Is it Janet?
It's Janet.
Wow.
I wrote it down right there. It's Janet.
All right.
So yeah, it's Janet. Janet does not like her. I think Suzanne is like whatever kind of. The landlords are so nosy.
They're very nosy.
They're very nosy.
I think this is where like all these laws came in about you got to give 24-hour notice.
Yeah,
before you can
because
enter somebody's apartment.
My God, they are so up in Chrissy and Janet's business.
Yeah.
Like you would not believe. It's like they're almost like their parents. Yeah.
Anyways, Mr. Roper shows up and he sees this roommate prospect and he starts poking her in the boobs.
Yes.
Because he doesn't think she's a woman. Then he gets she gets mad and he runs away out of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Oh.
He touched my bosom.
Yeah. She was molested.
Yeah, it was
a light molestation.
Yeah, it was like this funny case of like mistaken identity because Mrs. Roper described a dude, and when Mr. Roper went downstairs, it was not a dude, it was the actual woman looking at the apartment. So yeah, that was kind of like they had like this case of mistaken identity, and Mr. Roper looked like a total creep.
Yeah.
So, like in today's climate, that would not fly.
I don't know where we're at in the show now, but somehow John Ritter is making them breakfast because they don't know how to cook.
Then at some point, Mr. and Mrs. Roper both come downstairs.
Upstairs. Downstairs.
Downstairs.
Okay.
Nope, upstairs. Upstairs. This show's so confusing. After Janet and Chrissy already offered Jack the apartment after tasting his cooking, and they were really happy about it. So
they explained to the Ropers that they want Jack to move in as their new roommate.
Yes, and the Ropers are not happy about that, and so Chrissy and Jack kind of go out of frame.
They're not happy about it because they don't want a man living there with two women.
Right.
Because they're going to think there's some kind of swinger house or something.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It is very confusing why it's such a huge problem. So Chrissy and Janet share a room, and Jack would have his own room. And so it's just really...
I mean, I think it's more weird that Janet and Chrissy share a room. I think that's weirder.
Yeah, but I guess, like, if they don't have a lot of money...
Yeah.
You know, whatever. I
mean, they're throwing these wild parties.
Yeah.
Like, save some of that money and get your own room at least.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would really like to see what the room is. Maybe they got one of those curtains down the middle that, like, that's your side.
Yeah, I don't know. But or maybe they're like best friends and they love being in the same space with each other. I don't know. But but anyway,
far too close.
Jack and Chrissy exit the room to go get Jack's clothes, and at that point Janet convinces the landlords, we don't know how yet, that Jack can stay.
Right.
And so she explains that she told them that he was gay.
Yes. So that's it. She explained to the Ropers that he's gay, which he's not.
Yeah.
And
they were cool with it.
Yeah, he's fine. It's fine that he's gay. You can't have a straight dude living with two women.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I was like, well, that's good that they were cool with him being gay. Like, they didn't have any problem with him being gay at all. But it just, I guess it was just a different time.
Yeah, to be fair, Mr. Roper sees an opportunity that he'll be able to make fun of him. I feel like that.
Maybe.
You weren't reading that?
I didn't really read that.
Like, this is going to be hilarious. A gay dude living here? No?
Like, watch this. I'm gonna give
watch
this guy
the hilarity unfold.
So much trouble. The other thing I was gonna mention is that I think in later episodes, Christy gets dumber and dumber.
Maybe.
Like in this episode, she was kind of dumb, but it wasn't too bad. But I just remember watching like other episodes where I was like, wow, she's such an idiot. But like, I think that they played that up in later episodes.
And Janet's hair gets worse and worse as it goes on. I can remember that.
Yeah. She has kind of, I think it's called a page boy.
Yeah, I don't mind her hair in this one. 70s. I just know it gets worse.
It's very cute. She's very cute.
And then they replace Chrissy later on with her cousin. They replace her twice, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know she gets replaced.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of jokes, but I found myself laughing the most at Mr. and Mrs. Roper giving each other a hard time.
Oh, their dynamic.
Yes.
That's probably why they got the spinoff.
That was where I found myself really like engaged in their joking around and stuff like that. I felt like those jokes held up.
You know what I noticed in the show is that like their lines are kind of corny and silly, hokey even. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they're like laughing at what they're saying. Did you notice that?
Yes. And there was a moment where Janet broke character basically and had to cover her face and turn around because she was laughing so hard.
Yeah, I feel like a couple of times they break character just to like giggle at what's going on in the show.
Yeah. Really, I mean, it just was like this, I don't know. There's just like this charming kind of fun vibe to the show, which I liked.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What stuck out to you most about this episode?
What stuck out to me the most was probably the dynamic between Mr. and Mrs. Roper.
Yeah, they're a bigger part of the show in this first episode than I ever remember them being.
Yeah.
I know they end up replaced by Mr. Furley.
Yes,
Don Knotts.
Don Knotts, Mr. Furley. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Mr. and Mrs. Roper.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jack Tripper's physical comedy is what stood out to me the most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I do remember him doing that a lot in later episodes, a lot of physical comedy.
Yeah, a little bit of Three Stooges with one stooge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only stooge.
Yeah. So are we going to rate this episode?
Yeah.
How is this episode? What do you feel about this episode?
For a first episode, because usually, I wouldn't say usually, but a lot of times you watch the first episode of a show and it's not very good. So I would say I would give it a 5 because when I watched it, it like really drew me in and engaged me, and I thought it was very charming.
I'm gonna give it a 3, and that's like in real time right now. It's a 3, just because it's fun, it's funny, it's lighthearted, and that's really all there is to it. It's short, you get over and done with.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty short, and they get to the point pretty fast.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube clip.
You know, the way that they explained who the characters are and like what their relationship was in that tiny apartment, they explained it so quickly but so neatly and cleanly that you totally caught up really
with a bunch of jokes per second.
A bunch of jokes per second, and like you really caught up fast to what was going on.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about the intro. How could we not talk about the intro?
Talk about the intro.
Come and knock on my door, bro.
Come and knock on our door.
I like the intro. It doesn't explain exactly what's happening in the show. Like I'm looking for an intro from these old TV shows that we watch. I'm really looking for an intro that explains the entire premise.
Yes, and it more explains the character as opposed to the show.
Right.
Like you see Janet doing responsible things like watering the plants, and you see Suzanne Summers sunbathing.
Right.
And then you see Jack riding a bike and, eyeing pretty girls and falling off his bike.
And the lyrics to the song make absolutely no sense. It's from what I can remember. From what I can gather, they don't make any sense. Best part of the theme song is right before they start singing, and there's like a...
Oh, that guitar!
Yeah, like that.
The guitar.
You know what I'm talking
my
about?
gosh.
So good.
Yes.
I might start writing music just so I can remix that into my first song.
Oh,
so
my
good.
gosh.
My favorite thing of the whole show. Is that it?
I think that's it. I think that's the show.
Would you recommend people take a look at Three's Company's first episode?
I would recommend. Yeah.
Are you going to watch any more episodes?
I might. Well, I don't know. It's on Pluto.
Yeah, it's on Pluto TV, and I don't like watching stuff with ads, and I can't find it anywhere else. So probably not. Maybe though.
All right.
Yeah, I also recommend it. It's just fun. It's stupid.
It's really fun and lighthearted.
Yeah.
Very lighthearted. Yeah.
And that's it. That's the show.
Yeah.
That's the second episode of first episodes.
Okay.
Three's Company.
There you go. There you have it. Three's Company. Check it out.
You can follow the show on Twitter at What Else Show. We're also on Instagram at The What Else Show. Please like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. And that's it. Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
Yeah.
Yes.